Many truck drivers consider themselves to be great truck drivers. It's a vanity thing, I suppose. But when top-notch companies come looking for drivers, do they see you as a top truck driver, or do they see you as just another driver? Follow the steps in this video, and I'll guarantee you the good carriers will be knocking at your door. I would like to tell you about a new online jewelry store just for truckers, theluckytrucker.com. They have beautiful jewelry at attractive prices, most under $50, whether it be Christmas, anniversaries, birthdays, or any other special occasion. Theluckytrucker.com has beautiful necklaces for your wife, daughters, sisters, and mom, and handsome dog tags for your son, brothers, and dad. Visit them today, theluckytrucker.com. The best truck drivers are calm and they have a cool, steady head and a cool, steady hand. There's all sorts of situations that crop up when you're driving a truck where you just cannot overreact. When the thing starts to slide sideways going down an icy hill, or when a four-wheeler cuts you off, the thing is you've got to be calm, cool, and collected at all times. And Mother Nature can throw curves at you, the four-wheelers can throw curves at you, but the best drivers are always calm by nature and in control. The best truck drivers know their trucks, and they have some mechanical knowledge. You don't have to have a mechanic's ticket to be a good backyard mechanic. And guys that know how to do things like simple things like swap out fuel filters or replace coolant lines or air lines, fix lights when they go out, those kind of little skills can save you being shut down or being on the side of the road when you could be up and running. And it takes hours sometimes for service trucks to come out and fix something really basic. You're losing time for yourself, you're losing time for your trucking company and the customer. It's better if you can look at the truck, understand what's wrong, and fix some of these little things. You don't need to be a mechanic, you've just got to be mechanically inclined. The top drivers out there are 100% focused on what they're doing, and this is very important. Can you imagine piloting an 80,000-pound missile down the interstate and not paying total attention to what you're doing and where you're going? This business of guys texting or watching movies and stuff, that just cannot happen. You've got to focus 100% of your attention on the drive, and top drivers do that. They're not distracted. They do not allow themselves to be distracted by anything else. They're completely focused on the road. Top drivers have an overall knowledge of how the industry works and what's going on within their industry. Nobody can parachute into this industry or any industry untrained and know and understand what's going on. Top truck drivers take the time to understand the industry and how it works and how it functions, and that's why they're top truck drivers. They figure out the system and they know how to make better money at it. Top drivers and industry officials know that experience in this business is everything, and the top drivers are always gathering and gaining experience and knowledge and progressing and becoming better all the time. Now, that's not to say that you can't have a young guy with a few years experience who learns it and applies it properly will be more qualified or less qualified than a guy that's been in the industry 7 or 10 years that hasn't paid attention to anything. Trucking is a learning experience, and if you're taking the time to absorb all the knowledge, that will make you a better truck driver. Professional drivers, top drivers, have made a choice many years ago that there are some things that they just cannot do if they want to drive a truck professionally. And one of those things is to take drugs. You just cannot mix trucking with drugs. All drugs are mind-altering substances, and you certainly don't want to be piloting an 80,000-pound truck down the road and be under the influence of something. So there's just a zero tolerance there. You've either got to choose trucking or you've got to choose a different job with a different lifestyle that involves drugs if that's what you want to do. But if you're going to go trucking, that means zero drugs. Top drivers have top judgment. They've got to make serious decisions all the time in their business. They've got to know what loads to take, what locations not to go to. Judgment, good judgment, comes into play all the time. It tells them when not to go down the hill too quickly. Tells them what parts of town not to go into, tells them all sorts of things. It tells them when not to follow the GPS directions any farther, like that poor guy in Washington State last week, and end up on a logging road in the mountains. Professional top truck drivers have good judgment, and that inner voice tells them when something's a smart thing to do and when something isn't a smart thing to do. Finally, having a good sense of direction is important for truck drivers. All truck drivers get lost. Sooner or later, it happens to everyone. The top ones know how to get themselves back out of trouble, and that involves a sense of direction. And when you realize that the GPS has got you lost, it's not directing you back into safety or to the interstate. A good truck driver has figured out where he got off the interstate and how to get back to it again. All drivers should want to be at the very top of their field, the best they can be. That's what it's all about. That's what we're all doing here. That's what we're after. Stay safe, keep the rubber side down, and I'll see you on the back haul.